back and forth, more from Teofimo's side. You approached your father. You told him something. What is it that you told him? Because I know he was trying to like get some antics towards you, and it didn't get to you.
No, I just told him about himself. He know what I said, but he got to stop being a clown, you know? Like, everybody not with the clown antics and things like that just because he want to sell a fight. It's cool to sell a fight, but I'm not fighting. Leave me alone. I'm retired.
Do you give yourself time to reflect and appreciate how well you've done so far in your career?
No, not at all. I hate myself for it, but it's part of it. It's just part of the life.
You've got to appreciate it as well.
I don't appreciate it, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I think that I get butchered, and I think God punishes me a lot for it. So I'm just a punching bag to that. So one day I'll get, maybe one day, but not yet.
We appreciate you though, brother.
Not yet.
These guys appreciate you too.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just never got my fair share. I never did. Not once, man.
When you look at it.
Not once. But hey, that's just my journey. I guess I just never took on Baphomet, so I just gotta keep it moving.
Terence Crawford didn't raise his voice, but when Bud addressed Teofimo Lopez's past comments, it landed like a judge's gavel because he wasn't arguing emotion. He was arguing standards.
Every time, gotta put respect to it. To all my brothers and sisters, I love you guys. Always salute to the power that it be above. I thank you guys. I never wanted anything to harm you guys at all. So for that, my condolences to all you guys and to the slavery and everything that's ever happened mentally.
See, look, I look at it like this. It's a prime example. When life comes at you, it'll come at you in many ways, and you gotta treat it like a champ. That's it. You gotta treat it like a champ. Tell yourself it's okay. I learned from it, and I treat it like a champ every time. So if you're going through hard times in your life, whether it's from any sports or academics or anything like that, it's okay. You're still a champ.
Crawford basically framed it as this: trash talk is part of boxing, but when it slides into racial insults and stereotypes, you're not selling a fight anymore. You're exposing yourself.
Teofimo Lopez apologized for slavery because of all of the disrespect and the racist comments he was given. Bud Crawford calling him a monkey, the N-word with the hard ER, etc., etc., etc. Who knew all Teo needed was an ass whooping? Well, Shakur gave him exactly that.
That moment matters because Bud isn't some internet voice. He's a pound-for-pound great who's lived the grind and understands how words echo back when the gloves go on.
You offended all of us, and you know exactly what you're doing. You tried to play that game, making them racist remarks, and I said, I'm not feeling it. I don't like when Ryan Garcia did it. I'm not understanding that type of stuff at all. I stand firm on that. When Terence Crawford seen this after this last match, when he got dominated, Shakur Stevenson put down the strip for complete demonstration. He didn't get but one round. Terence Crawford went up. You know, they had the little situation where they was about to get into it and stuff and said, hey, they mad. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. F them. F T.O., F his daddy, F his sister, and anyone else that has a problem.
And Teofimo's history of taking shots at black fighters, questioning why networks signed them, mocking their success, that stuff didn't disappear. It stacked up. You could feel it hanging over him when he finally broke his silence after the loss, talking about punishment and reflection.
First of all, you don't joke about people trauma. Second of all, it ain't even funny. So you know why he was doing it. He was purposefully being racist. So you get what you deserve. Teo was complaining about ESPN signing black fighters. From Devin Haney to Shakur to Shushu to Keyshawn. Ironically, they all won, and Teo is the only one that lost. They all won in impressive fashions, becoming champions, etc. Teofimo Lopez is the only one that lost in an embarrassing fashion.
Whether you believe in karma or not, boxing has a way of answering disrespect with reality. Then came the ring, and that's where Shakur Stevenson erased all the talking. From the opening bell, Shakur didn't just outbox Teo. He outthought him, turning every feint into a trap, every rush into a mistake.
But it was a hell of a night. Teo, he came and tried to do his best, but his best wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I thought Teo, he came, he brought it, but you were just that much better. I was so impressed by the range control, the balance, the discipline in there. How did you feel in there?
I knew since the second round it was over. I went back to my corner, I told him, I said, I'm stronger than he is. And when I seen that, it just gave me more confidence, and it was my night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you filled out really well, 140. You looked really strong in there, big. Is this your best weight class?
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna be at 140. I have no clue. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and sit down and scan myself. I'm gonna watch the fight, see how I like it, and we'll see from there.
Teofimo looked confused, frustrated, like he was always a beat behind a fighter who'd already solved the puzzle. This wasn't about strength or toughness. It was about timing, IQ, and preparation. Shakur made a former champion look ordinary without ever needing theatrics. And that's the coldest kind of dominance.
I saw how hard you trained in there. It showed in the ring, the discipline, the shape you were in. You had great cardio. Looked like you could have gone, 18 rounds.
I could have. That was easy. I actually was picking it up as it go, but T.O., he fought to not get stopped, so respect to him.
Wait, so respect for fighting to not get stopped?
I mean, he could have got stopped in there. It was almost over at a couple of times.
Isn't that more respect, maybe, if you...
I mean, he's a tough fighter.
Yeah.
He got power, too. Speed, too.
So that cut you opened up, that was what, precision?
That was me just being the best. Hey, Mike, we about to get out of here.
So when people connect the dots afterward, Crawford calling out the disrespect, Teofimo questioning his own path, and Shakur delivering a masterclass, it feels less like a coincidence and more like boxing doing what it always does. Talk all you want. Eventually, the ring tells the truth.
Just what was it like in there? How come you didn't really feel like you could get into the rhythm as such? I mean, just your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think I was just honestly too focused on one particular objective, one particular thing, than really enjoying what I could see opening. I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot, so I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with left hooks and stuff. I did poorly on not listening to my team. That's on me. Take it on the chin.
And right after watching Shakur turn that fight into a live demonstration of timing, control, and separation, Teofimo Lopez Sr. steps up sounding like a man trying to explain a storm after it already passed. What's fascinating is how he opens by saying everything was fine, then immediately tells you nothing was fine. He keeps going back to sparring, to what they drilled, to what should have happened, and that's the first crack. Because when Senior says, "He didn't do what I told him," what he's really saying is the plan never survived contact with Shakur's brain.
The sparring sessions were like what motivated me to this fight. That I was 100% sure we was gonna win. For some reason, the game plan, my son didn't do what I told him he was supposed to do.
You can hear the frustration when he talks about rhythm, about stopping Shakur from doing what Shakur does best, because that's the nightmare matchup in one sentence. Senior floats the idea that media narratives, social chatter, and future fight talk got into Teo's head. And look, that's not crazy. But it also quietly admits something bigger. This wasn't a physical loss, it was a mental one. When he says Teo looked like his power wasn't there, I don't hear drained muscles, I hear hesitation.
How you gonna fight, a fight when everybody wants you to lose? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know what happened. It just looked like all his powers were not there. Like everything was like that we planned, everything that he did in sparring, everything that we planned to do was not there.
And when he insists Teo wasn't beat up and went 12 rounds, that's a dad protecting his son's pride, not a coach breaking down the chessboard. The part that really jumps out is when he admits Teo is easy to mess with mentally because Shakur didn't have to hurt him early, he just had to confuse him. Senior keeps saying everyone wanted his son to lose, but in boxing, pressure doesn't come from outside noise. It comes from the guy across from you removing your options. The 8th round moment he mentions, where Shakur was supposedly hurt, even that feels like a reach, because Shakur immediately reset and took control again.
All the greats have lost and they have come back and they have done great. So, we're here and we're gonna stay. He's still 28 years old. He's still not in his prime, and we're coming back stronger than ever. Next time, I think he's ready to go to 147.
And then comes the pivot to 147, the classic post-loss escape hatch. Bigger weight, fresh start, new monsters. But here's the reality. Moving up doesn't solve processing speed, discipline, or adaptability. Teo Sr. sounds loyal, emotional, protective, and genuine, but also stuck in a loop of explanations that avoid the simplest truth. Shakur didn't win because Teo failed. Shakur won because he was better, faster upstairs, and already 2 moves ahead before Teo even started thinking.
I mean, we hurt Shakur, like I think in the 8th round, and he was hurt for about 2 rounds, and he let him come back. You know, the whole plan was not to exchange with him. The whole plan was not to box with him. But I guess, you know, it worked to Shakur's benefit, and congratulations to him and to his team. And we got to move to better things, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. Regroup and come back. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest fighters right now in the business, and let's see what happens, you know, in the future.
And right after Teofimo Lopez Sr. finishes explaining the loss like it was a system malfunction instead of a takeover, Tim Bradley walks in and basically says, nah, you're still missing the scary part. Because Bradley isn't arguing about whether Shakur won. He's arguing about how little Shakur actually showed. That's the wild part. When Bradley says this wasn't the complete package yet, that's not hype, that's a warning label. He's looking at Shakur Stevenson the same way veterans used to look at young Bud, like, oh, you're still in the loading screen. And I love how he ties it to confidence, not power. He's basically saying Shakur already sees everything, catches everything, counters everything, but he hasn't fully flipped the switch where he decides, I'm done playing with you now. That's chilling.
He's still growing as a fighter. He's still growing as a man. He's not even at his peak yet. Let me say that again. He's not at his peak yet. The minute Shakur gets confident enough, because you heard it after when he was just like, I could have stopped him, but he started fighting back. The minute he gets confident enough, man, I'm telling y'all, he gonna stop a lot of fighters.
Bradley even brings up how Shakur admitted he could have stopped Teo, but chose control instead. And that tells you this fight was managed, not survived. Every time Teo tried to think, Bradley points out he got countered. Every time he tried to load up, he froze. At one point, Bradley straight up says Teo went amateur in there, not because he forgot how to fight, but because his brain got overwhelmed. That's elite stuff. And then Bradley makes the comparison that really lands, the Terence Crawford comparison. Not the power, not the violence, but that moment when Bud gets tired of solving you and decides to end the exam early. That's where Bradley thinks Shakur is headed. Not yet, but soon. And that's the key difference from the Teo Senior breakdown. Senior is still talking about plans and rhythm. Bradley is talking about inevitability. One guy is explaining the past, the other is forecasting the future. And if Bradley's right, the version of Shakur we just saw wasn't peak form, it was a preview. That's not comforting news for anyone in the division.
Shakur turned Teofimo Lopez into an amateur fighter. Didn't even leave first gear. This is not the best Shakur Stevenson. I'm telling you guys. I said this after the Cepeda fight. When Shakur put it all together, I'ma tell y'all when he puts it all together. When he put it all together, I promise you, it's gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson, Terence Crawford. I didn't have to be in the ring with Terence Crawford.
Brian McIntyre steps in and completely changes the lens, because BoMac isn't talking about excuses. He's talking about levels. When BoMac calls Shakur's performance a masterpiece, it doesn't sound like post-fight hype. It sounds like a coach recognizing clean work when he sees it. And I love how he immediately points it at the next generation, basically saying if you're a young fighter trying to learn boxing the right way, press rewind and take notes. When he says he knew Shakur would dominate the moment the fight was announced, that's not disrespect to Teo, that's respect for how styles actually work at the elite level. Then he gets into the corner talk, and when BoMac says whatever Teo tried just wasn't going to work, that's brutal honesty. Not, they messed up, but there was no door to walk through. And when he repeats that Shakur has a great boxing mind that ties perfectly into what we just heard earlier from Bradley, this wasn't about speed or power. This was about thinking faster.
He said that masterpiece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful.
When you were watching it, did you feel right away Shakur's gonna run away with this?
Well, I kind of figured that when when they said they was gonna fight each other. So I knew Shakur was gonna dominate him, you know, but they must hype the fight up.
BoMac even jokes that the best way to beat Shakur might be to stay away from him. And honestly, that might be the most accurate scouting report anyone's given so far. What really elevates this segment, though, is how seamlessly BoMac pivots to Terence Crawford. When he says Bud has nothing left to prove, it feels earned, not sentimental. 3 undisputed runs, domination across divisions, and walking away before time collects interest. That's beating boxing, not just opponents. And the way BoMac describes working with Crawford like a classroom, that matters here, because you can feel the connection. The same gym that produced Bud's mind is clearly shaping Shakur's future. So while Teo Sr. is still talking about regrouping and moving weights, BoMac is already looking at eras. Shakur at 135, 140, maybe higher, Bud riding into the sunset, different stages, same system. And if you're listening closely, the message is simple. This wasn't a fluke, this was education.
And then just the way he dominates this fighter. There's never been a fight that Terence had that's been suspect or they wanted to run it back or something like that. There's not one fighter. Most of the fighters that he fought, he ended their career. Or they never was the same fighter after he fought them. Just look at it. Look at it, man. The last 3 guys, man, look what he did to them. The last 4 or 5 guys. Jesus Christ.
So when you stack all of this together, it paints a pretty clear picture. Terence Crawford checked the culture and the standards. Shakur Stevenson answered everything in the only language that really matters, and everyone else has been reacting to the aftershock. Teofimo didn't just lose a fight. He ran into a moment where talk, identity, preparation, and reality all collided at once. His father is still searching for explanations. Tim Bradley is warning that this version of Shakur wasn't even the final form. And BoMac is calmly telling you this is what high-level boxing is supposed to look like when talent meets discipline. That's the through line. This wasn't chaos, controversy, or coincidence. This was separation. Shakur didn't need to be loud, violent, or dramatic to dominate. He just needed time and space. And once he got it, the whole division felt smaller. The scary part is, everyone involved keeps saying the same thing in different ways. This isn't peak Shakur yet. That's not hype, that's a forecast. And Teofimo's next move, whether it's 147 or somewhere else, won't erase what just happened, because boxing remembers lessons, even when fighters try to outrun them.
All I had to do was watch my eyes and hear the same thing that I said about Crawford, the way Crawford said about Shakur, and how confident he is in Shakur because he's been in the ring with Shakur and he knows what Shakur can do. That's all I need.
Now it's on you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Really debate this one. Was this about skill, mindset, karma, or all of it colliding at once? And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.